enjoy reading the feedback in your book?
Yes,
Why?
because it's nice to know what you've done right and what your next steps are.
Perfect, okay. And does Miss Walsh add anything else to help you know what your next steps are in your book?
She does a progress pit stop, and that's what you know at the beginning of the lesson, and then see if you know it at the end.
Perfect, okay. Can you tell me what the orange and green highlighters mean?
The green means that you've done something really well and you've got it correct, and the orange means you need to improve on it.
Perfect, okay. Do you know what any of the symbols look like that the teachers use?
There's the target symbol, which means you've met a target.
Do you know what the ladders mean?
Next steps.
Well done.
Okay, well done. So what do you do when you get a ladder and you read your next steps?
You try to use them in your next piece of writing.
Perfect. And how would you feel then, Eleanor, if your work wasn't marked?
I'd feel a little bit disappointed because you don't know what you've done right and what you've done wrong.
Super.
Do you enjoy reading the feedback in your book, Kath?
Yeah,
And why do you enjoy reading the feedback?
it's nice to know what you've done in your work.
Fantastic, okay. So do you know what the orange and green highlighters mean?
Green means you've done it perfect, and orange means you've done it wrong.
Perfect. Okay. Do you know what the symbols that sometimes the teachers write on your work, do you know what they mean?
No.
Okay, if a teacher put a smiley face or a star, do you know what that means?
Star means
Does Mr. Fletcher use 2 stars and a wish? And what do the 2 stars mean?
what you've done right,
And what about the wish?
what you need to improve.
Fantastic, okay. So what do you have to do when you read your next steps?
Try and improve them next time.
Okay. And how would you feel if your work wasn't marked?
Disappointed.
Disappointed. Why would you be disappointed?
Because you wouldn't know what you've done wrong and what you've done right.
Do you enjoy reading the feedback in your book?
Yeah,
And why do you enjoy?
because you know what you've done right and you know what you've done wrong.
So can you tell me what the orange and green highlighters mean?
Green means you've done excellent and orange means you've got something.
And what do you have to do when you read the next steps in the orange highlighter?
To use it in the next writing in your book.
Perfect. And how would you feel if your work wasn't marked?
Sad because you won't know you've done up a level or you've gone down.
Do you enjoy reading the feedback in your book, Georgia?
Yeah,
Why do you enjoy reading it?
because I know what I've done right.
Perfect. Okay. And what do the orange and green highlighters that Miss Woodward used mean?
Green means that you've done excellent, and orange means that you need to improve on it.
Perfect. Okay. And do you know any of the symbols that Miss Woodward uses when marking?
What about the ladders?
The ladders means it's your next steps, what you need to do in your next writing.
What if I put a love heart at the side?
That means you love what I've used.
Super.
Perfect. Okay. So what do you do when you get a ladder and you read your next steps?
I use it in my I try to use it in my next writing, and I always look back to know what it is, what I've got to do.
Well done,
Perfect.
Georgia.
And how would you feel if your work wasn't marked, Georgia?
A bit sad because I wouldn't have known what I've got right and got wrong.
Super.
Okay. Do you enjoy reading the feedback in your book, Poppy?
Yes,
Why do you enjoy it?
so I know what I've done right or wrong.
Perfect. Okay. So, what symbols do I use when I'm marking your books? What does the ladder mean when I use the ladder?
Next step,
And what does it mean when I put a smiley face or a star?
you like it.
I like it. Perfect. Okay. So, can you tell me what the orange and green highlighters in your book mean?
Green means you've done it right, and orange means you need to add something else in.
To make it what?
Better.
Perfect. Okay. And how would you feel if your work wasn't marked? If I didn't mark your work?
Disappointed because I won't know if I've done something wrong.
You won't know you've done something wrong. And if you don't know you've done something wrong, would that help you or not help you get better?
Not at me.
Perfect. Do you enjoy reading the feedback in your book?
Yes.
Why do you enjoy reading the feedback?
What does it make you feel like?
Okay.
Okay. Can you tell me what the orange and green highlighters mean?
The green means that you've done well, and the orange means that you've not done it right.
Okay. And what do you do when you see the orange highlighter and read what your teacher says?
What would you do in your next piece of writing? Would you make sure you used what you'd missed?
You can use what you missed.
Okay. So how would you feel if your work wasn't marked?
Sad.